Welcome back to Visionary Ventures, the Kalbustani podcast. Today, we're excited to welcome Tania Koujou, also known as Kiss the Spoon, a dynamic entrepreneur who transformed her personal health challenges into a thriving business dedicated to promoting holistic health and wellness. After leaving her successful career at Leo Burnett, where she worked on high-profile campaigns for Procter& Gamble, Tania embarked on a journey to redefine her relationship with food. Today, with two branches of her health focused eatery in Beirut and Lebanon, Tania continues to inspire and influence healthy lifestyles through her expertise in branding, marketing, and holistic health. Join us as we dive into Tania's story of transformation, exploring how she turned her struggles with IBS and food into a flourishing business that helps others heal and thrive. First of all, thank you so much, Tania, for being here. I really appreciate you coming on the podcast and sharing your journey with us.
Thank you, Carl. Same, it's my pleasure. And thank you for the beautiful intro. It was nice to see everything recapped, a timeline of my life recapped. So thank you. And I'm very
It-
excited to have this discussion with you.
It's a very inspiring journey, and I've known you for some time. I know the story, and it really inspires me because I know what you've been through, and I understand where you are right now. And it's really a huge leap and transformation
Mm,
that you did. And thank you for sharing that and for being open. Before we start diving and digging deep into your business and where you are at, I'm really
mm,
interested in the transition back then. So,
mm.
transitioning from advertising to starting your own business in health and wellness is a
Yes.
significant shift.
Mm,
They're two different worlds. Can you describe the mental challenges you faced during this transition?
mm. Um, Believe it or not, it felt very smooth. It felt very natural. And it felt like I wasn't meant to be in that place. When I did that transition, I was in my 20s. So probably age plays a big factor in my 20s. And I think anyone in 20s who feels this inner force to just join something new, just go with the wave and go with this force because it really felt so strong and it made me feel strong. So it wasn't that much scary to do the jump. Then, of course, you'll have some whispers and you'll have some thoughts that might be a bit demotivating you. But at the end, it was really a strong one. And when I came to my boss to tell him that I was quitting, I remember so much. I was very eloquent. I said I have two forces. One is telling me to stay, and one is telling me uh, to quit. And he thought I'm gonna say so I'm staying because I was that kind of a girl who likes to work hard and just keep serving clients. So then I said I'm gonna quit, and this force was bigger. And that's it. Now, if you tell me that I have to do another transition, now I feel it is harder. Now we think more with our minds. I was thinking with my heart, and I was courageous enough to think, okay, if it doesn't work out, I can go back to the Burnett. I can go back to do anything because I will always find a passion. But I really felt I had to try. So it felt strong.
So
Mm.
age played a huge role, and it was easier for you to just take the jump and move on. Nice,
Yes, and financial stability. At that time, Lebanon was more stable. Our
of
money
course.
was secured. Yeah. So I can understand now anyone going through a challenge, want to do a transition but not able to. It's not always the passion. Definitely, mind comes into place. Things you have to figure out. But when it's very strong, I think it's like a wave, and you just have to ride it. Mm,
Nice. Talking about stability and talking about the different fields, so you transitioned from something that was known and common and in your comfort zone, if we can say, to a completely different field, which was really new for you.
100%.
This uncertainty of leaving this stability and just taking the leap and moving to something unknown, how did you manage the stress of that unknown?
Uh, I think it's something that I have learned back in advertising. When you have a very big project, to break it down into small pieces. And that was something that has really helped me. So I knew that one, I had to figure out packaging, then menu, and then suppliers, pricing, marketing. It took me around 8 months, 6 months. So when I left Leo Burnett, I was working from home for 8 months, preparing menu, meeting suppliers. And I would really say, and this is something that has to do with energy, when you really seek something, I mean, just contacts come in, pop in. You cannot plan it. Some certain things will be like, okay, where do I start? You just start. This is the best thing any new entrepreneur wanna. This is the best step. You just start, and then things fall into the right place. You meet one contact, they direct you to another contact, and then when you see you're doing something wrong, someone else corrects you, and I'm like, wow, how did this come from? It's just like because you are really putting this beautiful energy, and I think. Uh, uh, um, you will find solutions will come to you. Of course, but you should do the work, you should do the effort, and then things will come. So that was part one. I think breaking down into pieces, starting, and then these challenges never end. Till now, 5 years later, I still feel like I do not know much how to run an F&B because I didn't have the full background. And F&B is very um, challenging, it's very tricky.
One of
So
the
the more the
hardest
menu,
industries.
it is so hard. Like I felt like advertising is the hardest, and then I moved into another, a harder one, which is F&B. When the menu grows, food safety guidelines become stricter. You just learn them. Like I have been in a program for food safety. I learned a new thing. We're developing now a new menu. I'm learning new things. It really never stops, and it definitely feels scary. But when you grow, you have a team, you have a partner. Um, Challenges will never stop, but also the resources will grow. So it's like your challenges are growing, your resources are growing. So that as well helps.
Interesting approach. And talking
Mm.
about these challenges, any specific strategies that keeps Tanya motivated and focused during these days?
So to start with full honesty, being a Lebanese entrepreneur is not easy. Working in a Lebanese economy that is so fluctuating is not easy on the mind, not easy on the soul. And that is something I always talk about, even if I'm opening a little topic between brackets, passion doesn't stay um, very strong. It's like a flame you have to
Consistent.
keep,
It's not
yes,
consistent,
it
right?
at all. I know like any entrepreneur, global entrepreneur will feel the same. Probably in Lebanon, we have our challenges because uncertainties just make you feel like, okay, when is this going to end? And you might want to crave certainty and go back to being an employee. So passion is not enough. So what keeps me going if passion is not enough? It's always the commitment to success. Our brand plays a big role in humans' life, and not only that, in people's health. And health is a big wealth, it's a big asset for people. So when we know that, let's say some pregnant woman, when they crave something or after they deliver, they consider our food, or someone who doesn't feel good, or someone who have gut sensitivities, or someone who just want to improve their health, they rely on our presence in the market. That is something big. And I always say in Arabic, علقت. I started with something and then I feel sometimes I'm not up to it. It's getting harder. The passion is not always on. بس علقت. I'm stuck. I know stuck is a negative word, but sometimes if I just want to be a raw entrepreneur and tell you how things are as they are, it's sometimes like, okay, I'm stuck. I cannot stop. I really can't. I'm committed not only to, it's bigger than I know it's like parenting. You're committed to your kids. Whatever happened, you should show up to them however you feel. So imagine now you're committed to your employees, so internally, and you're committed to a bigger community and customers who order from you. So this keeps you going, and definitely taking a break, recharging, coming back, celebrating little victories that just feel like yay, and then something happens, you feel down, and then another victory. So it's ups and downs.
Lovely.
Yeah, need
Thank
a
you for
breath.
sharing that. And talking about being stuck and navigating these rough waters, and especially in a country like Lebanon,
Mm,
I'm really inspired and intrigued, sorry, to know
mm.
how do you maintain that mental resilience as you continue to expand your business and brand.
One, I express a lot. I cry. I definitely do.
Okay,
I have a partner. So my partner, my business partner, is my life partner. So he has happened to be my husband. So he has to listen. So definitely
nice.
I have to listen. Not have to, but it's like
Definitely.
naturally
That's in
we
the
live
job
together.
description.
The job description. Yeah, so he's doing it very well. He listens a lot, and I think he has this as well big drive. I mean, he didn't start Kiss the Spoon. He joined Kiss the Spoon because he believed out of it, because he didn't as well believe in the banking sector where he was working. So definitely he has this passion that fuels him. So indirectly he fuels me again. And sometimes I feel like I found that one of the tricks is to always try to do more of what I like. And when you're an entrepreneur, there are thousand tasks you have to do, thousand hats you'll have to wear. So let's say 50% out of them are things you really hate doing. So this is where we discuss delegation. This is where we discuss, okay, we need help in that. Let's do a meeting and do these things and wrap them up quickly, so I don't have to spend time thinking about them, because I tend to be an overthinker. And so what I've done
Me too.
recently is some you I'm sorry.
No worries.
Okay.
AirPod is coming.
Um, okay. So can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. So you tend to be an overthinker. I know I'm an overthinker, and when you are an entrepreneur, you just become more of an overthinker. So one of the tricks I've done is that I try to step out of the branch sometimes, because I work on the vision part, the visionary part, the creative pitching, funding, trying to come up with content, with recipes. His part is more operation. So what I have to do is to step out, because when I'm in the branch, I'm just seeing things not going well. I'm just seeing things we have to fix internally, people coming in and out, and I'm just thinking of operations versus of the dream. So whenever I step out, I just feel connected again to my why. I just feel I'm in my zone. I'm working. Because when you're an entrepreneur, sometimes you have to be a dreamer again, and you don't want to get involved in the dirty part. So I think one big thing that is so important for any entrepreneur when they have a partner, or let's say more employees and manager, delegate some of the tasks and keep a big part of what you do related to the dream, because otherwise you'll just be drowning in everything that is just not working, and you feel like, oh, it's not working, I want to stop.
I love the approach, and it really
Mm,
resonates with how I function and how I
mm,
manage also and oversee my businesses. And you
mm.
really highlighted something that I was missing out lately. And yeah, I'm gonna take that advice.
Uh,
Thank you.
It took us like time and until I figure out that
Yeah, you
that's
have to try,
catchable
and
probably.
it's all about try and error at the end of the day.
Mm,
And like you
100%.
said, don't be immersed and only focused on the micromanaging and the small stuff
Mm,
and the operations. And okay, they're important. Delegate more, delegate better, have better resources and people to
mm,
rely on and leverage the work with. And you keep on focusing on the bigger picture, on the why, on the drive, on the
mm,
ways forward. These are the missions and the visions and the values. So, talking about these philosophies, Could you please share with us more about your personal health journey and how it influenced the philosophy behind Kiss the Spoon?
Mm, yeah. Uh, that's a fun part. It started out of personal struggle, and every successful business has a story behind it. And so this is what fuels us every single day, is to help people to overcome anything I have faced. So it started with bloating, irritable bowel syndrome. I'm bloated, I'm constipated, I feel bad, I'm in a bad mood. All of these fluctuations made me feel like I'm not myself anymore. I'm not aligned with who I am. I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to socialize, which is not something that is not me. I didn't feel like I want to be out there and shine because I was so consumed with why am I bloated? Why am I sick? Why I'm having this nausea. And then I figured out it's because I'm eating something that doesn't work for me. And at that time, I have stepped out of the kitchen because I felt like every time I go into the kitchen, I cook something, I end up eating it, and I feel hurt and I don't feel good in my gut. So then it just happened. Honestly, out of a sudden, I found a book. It was interesting, and that book happened to be a vegan cookbook. So this is what I started knowing about nut milk, eating more vegetables. And it was so scary for me to eat vegetables because sadly, when you go to a doctor and you tell him you have IBS, the solution is if you eat that, take that pill. So in my case, it was like, okay, I'm not eating that. Maybe I don't have the pill. That means it's something bad for me. So I stopped eating lentils, legumes, broccoli, all of these veggies. And I was, as a kid, someone who eats a lot of Betty Crocker cake boxes, Kraft pasta. So I'm the opposite of who I am today. So my gut bacteria wasn't good. So I started doing recipes from this book, eating veggies, and I felt a transformation. And I felt like we're not victims of a disease. It's just that we need to give our body the right information. If I feel I'm a victim, I'll be like, okay, I'm a victim. I have IBS. I'll eat whatever and whatever. This is the attitude of some people. But for me, a negative thing in my life, which is IBS, I turned it into something positive. So, okay, let me learn about it. Let me change what I eat. I went back into the kitchen. And this is when my relationship with food turned from pain into a pleasure to kiss. And because I'm someone who loves passion, when I was working in advertising, or now at Kiss the Spoon, passion is important. So it was a kiss. And why spoon, not fork? Because spoon hugs, spoon envelope, spoon is comfort. And this is something I was seeking. And right now, Kiss the Spoon philosophy is not judgmental, it's not strict, detox, local, abs, guilty, not guilty. We're more soft, we're inclusive. And that's why I picked the spoon. And that's why it's not called just spoon. It's Kiss the Spoon. It's the relationship with the spoon, which embodies the food, which embodies yourself. So it's a relationship. It's not just about healthy food. Sometimes you can just eat a pizza and be out in Italy and walking and enjoying, and you feel much better than when you're in Lebanon because you have a stress-free mind. And health is not just about the food, it's how you feel when you eat. It's about how you feel with people around you, the connection. So it's very holistic. Hence the name
Wow,
Kiss the Spoon.
amazing.
Mm.
Amazing story, by the way. Wow, super inspiring. I really, really
Mm.
like it. And
Mhm.
yeah, we should
I
kiss the
learned well
spoon more
from
often.
marketing as well. Marketing helped
Yeah,
me.
I,
Yeah.
I, I like how you combined your expertise in the marketing and advertising field and how you created the framework behind the brand and how you
Mm.
really activated all of that. We're gonna get
Mm.
into these details in few, but before we do, talking about health and physical
Mm.
health. So, what
Yes.
are some key practices that you've adopted to maintain your physical health, especially given the demands of running a business?
Yes. Okay. One of the thing is there are certain foods I really cannot eat, and this became a non-negotiable. It doesn't mean I'm strict on myself because it's not like there is a pizza right in front of me which has melted cheese, which just brings me the worst cramps. It's not like it's sitting there and I'm just sad I can't eat it. it's no longer a pleasure for me. So for me, this is something that doesn't suit my body. So even if someone forces me to, I'm like, I really, I'm not gonna be happy eating it. So one is I don't bring food or eat food that triggers any disturbance in my stomach. And I got used to it. Habit is a big key, because once you do something
But it was a trial
consistently,
and error at first, right? You had to
yes, it was
try which
trial.
food is suitable, which is not comfortable, and you were
Mhm.
listening to your body
Mm-mm.
constantly as you go, right?
Yeah, because I'm someone who always listens, so it was so easy for me. I know this floats me, so okay, I eliminated it. Also, I did it gradual. Uh, Anyone who as well wanna change their health, don't do it suddenly, because you will feel it's not sustainable. So I first stopped gluten, then I stopped dairy and went back to gluten, and then I found my balance, which is I can't eat dairy, but I eat sourdough bread. When I eat, for example, bread that is much refined, I know I'll eat it in small quantity. But at first, it was a phase where I had to eliminate a lot, because I had to do a reset. And then you find your balance, you'll be like, okay, a reset is just for a few months. It doesn't have to be a year or two, because you need to go on with your life and travel and enjoy. But a reset is so important. So at the first phase, you really respect what you can eat and not, until you heal, you feel better, and then you introduce. And so right now, I really don't feel like, okay, I'm gonna eat a pizza and feel cramps, and how am I going to work? How am I going to just stay late working, etc. So for me, health is this feeling. It's not the looks, and it's a feeling. I want to feel good so that I can work better. So that's why I really don't eat anything that triggers me. Second thing I did to improve my health is to start eating what I didn't eat before. So more veggies, more legumes in small quantities. I really needed to have some courage and start eating legumes. I was so afraid. I was always afraid. So I started having them with digestive enzymes. I was having them in small quantities. If I have it today, I'll have 2 days rest. So it was an experimentation, and it's really worth it. Health really needs time. It's a journey, and you really need to be patient and to be your own doctor. And the third thing, movement. It took me time to find as well the movement that suits me. The first year when I was an entrepreneur, it wasn't good at all. Whatever I do, I just had the weight on, because I was so stressed. I wasn't consistent. I was working from home. Kitchen was from home. And then it took me time until I was doing the movement, which is so important in my case, and anyone who has irritable bowel syndrome, which is slow movement where you breathe, because breathing just helps a lot with massaging your internal organs and making your digestion better. Um, so this is it briefly. Mm.
So, in regards to sports and fitness,
Mm.
do you practice any
Yes.
specific exercises? Which
Yeah.
kind of breath work do you do? Tell us a
Yes.
bit about these routines.
Okay. So what I do is Lagri. I love Lagri. Lagre. It's
I've
a
never heard
strong.
about it, by the way. What's that?
It's amazing. So it's a machine which does total body workout. It works on strengthening, lots of strength, lots of balance, endurance, stretching, a little bit of cardio, because it's a 50 minutes class, no stop, but you do it slowly. Like it will take you 12 seconds to do one lunge, and that means you're just pre-programming your mind to slow down. And this is when
It's
my
a
cortisol.
it's a Pilates
It's a Pilates, but the strong
form.
one. So it's not the
Okay,
reformer. It's a stronger version. It's really,
okay.
really strong. And you just shake and you just work on those slow twitch muscle. So it lowers the cortisol hormone, which is the stress hormone. Anyone who has a busy lifestyle, always stressed, always thinking, they have high cortisol, which means they might have as well digestive problems. When you do slow movement, you lower your cortisol, because you're just breathing and you're just lowering your pace. I felt the best result, and you become addicted to it. It's not easy, it's tough, but you become addicted to it. So this is one of the things I do. And another thing when it comes to physical movement is walking out in the sun, because I noticed that outdoor as well is something that is different. One, the sun is different. The heat while walking just also brings warmth to your digestion. Anyone who has problems with bloating, constipation, when you walk and walk, you just bring fire to the bowels, and it's just much better. And because for me, music is really good for disconnecting. So when you listen to the music, you're just thinking about the music and not anything else. And by the way, it inspires me when I listen to music about new ideas or any other new recipe I want to create. Other
Nice.
routines I do is like a little bit of supplement just to make sure everything is good. So regular one, magnesium, vitamin C, iron. And you know what? I don't have much. I don't think it's that. It doesn't have to be that fancy and matcha and superfood. It's just I eat a lot of vegetables. I eat local. I don't have to eat just spirulina. I eat bakle, watercress, Lebanese things, cucumber, tomatoes. I eat sourdough bread. I make sure I eat a lot of vegetables. I'm not a heavy animal protein eater, so I'm also selective. So I think
So you're not
plants
into
are the hero.
vegan diets
I- I'm
and
flexitarian. Yes, yes. I'm flex.
that's a new term,
Yeah,
flexitarian.
flexitarian, so you're in between.
Okay.
That means your the star would be plants. So you eat a lot of plants. You focus on legumes, on vegetables, on fruits, on grains, and you are not a carnivore. So meat is not the big star of the dish. So you'll have meat as an extra, chicken as extra. And for me, this was something that helps me a lot. And I mean, I hydrate. I don't drink coffee. I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke. I don't know what fizzy drinks are. So I'm just a tea person. I sleep 7, 8 hours. I try to always have connections with people. Um, Sometime me reading books. I do yoga. I mean, I never underestimate
I
yoga
wanted
for
to ask you about
anyone.
yoga, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't go to a studio, so I'm not consistent as much as I am with Legree, but I have an app. I think yoga is accessible to anyone. You even can just sink in with
Which
your
style of
breath.
yoga do you practice?
I like the flow yoga, so I like vinyasa. But I also found
Okay.
Ashtanga to be nice uh, because it's. I also found I can't maybe tell the difference, but sometimes I feel like I need something slower. I like any yoga with balance because when you want to do a balanced movement, you need to focus. So anything that can just slow down anything going on in your mind. So Legri and yoga are amazing. Walking, listening to music, and it's nothing sophisticated. Yeah, but food is the main part. I don't eat what triggers me. I don't. I just focus on really wholesome food, and it makes me feel better and happy.
Do you do cheat meals and you eat some sugars?
Okay, so thing is,
Are you
it's like
super strict in your diet or you're
yeah,
flexy
I love it.
to
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
end?
The thing is, sometimes like a cheat meal for you would like, do you go and eat a burger? So one thing is, I would really think twice or more for eating burger because I always think, okay, the bun has milk and it has cheese, so I'll have to remove one and two. But sometimes when I really want it, I'll just tell them remove the cheese. I'll have half of the bun. But I listen to my body what it's craving. It's not always craving burger. I crave sometimes a kid bread and pasta and pizza, so I'll omit the cheese
Cakes and pastries.
because it has eggs and milk, so I don't eat. And it's not me. I'm being strict. It's just I really avoid the pain, and I know the alternatives. Like at Kiss the Spoon, we have alternatives, sweets that are plant based. You have at other bakeries in Lebanon. Whenever I travel, I just try everything that is plant based. Recently, I'm trying something with eggs just to see how my body is responding. But I don't call it like a cheat meal. When I travel, I try whatever I can, meat and chicken, but dairy and eggs are my red zone. And this just comes out of I'm seeking pleasure. I don't want to feel the pain. I really hated the days when I had pain. I really hated them. So I think it's just like my body taking me to my body is craving what it wants. Yeah, it
What
doesn't want
suits
to go
it?
back.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't want the pain just for some momentary pleasures, I
Yeah,
believe,
yeah, 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 yeah. And sugar,
even
by
if
the
it's
way, I
sweet.
do. Um, excuse me.
Even if it's sweets and pastries and I
Yeah,
don't know, if you crave
Yeah,
candies and stuff, it's just momentary pleasures, and your
yeah,
gut knows the feeling. And
yeah,
if it's not suitable for you to have the dairy, the sweets,
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
you don't
But
want
it took
that.
me
You won't
five
crave it.
years, 5 years of failing, if you want, or falling into the trap and eating them, and then okay, second day I feel like, okay, what did I do? That it took me like 5 years, so it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. And with sweets, I most of the sweets I eat from Kiss the Spoon, so they have no added sugar, sweetened with molasses and
Amazing
honey.
sweets, by the way. I still remember the taste of
Mm,
some of them
mm,
that I've tried
mm.
some years back in Beirut.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
yeah.
nice.
I think the snacks, all of these,
The
they're still the
snacks, yeah.
star on the menu. So soon you can try the bigger collection.
Yalla, hopefully
And
when
yeah,
I'm in town, I will.
yes.
Talking about the gut and the food and all of that, any specific supplementation or something in concerns to probiotics, prebiotics, and stuff like that?
On and off. So sometimes, yeah, I do
Or
take
even specific detoxes that you do, maybe.
Okay. Sometimes I do take probiotics, but not for a long time because you have to as well train your gut bacteria um, to develop its own healthy bacteria. You can some food act as prebiotics, so you eat some food that would feed the good bacteria in your gut. What I recently they're doing is vinegar and water. It's not the trick to slim down because vinegar just
Apple cider
increases
vinegar.
apple cider vinegar, yes, ACV. It increases the acid in your stomach, and when
I'm
you
doing
increase the
that as well.
acid, yeah, it helps with digesting food, so you don't have to take enzymes. Sometimes I think like, okay, enzymes or apple cider vinegar, which is like with the they call it the mother, which has still the unfiltered, which are the
Exactly.
probiotics. So I think like things can be easy. I like going back because in Lebanon as well, we're privileged. We're lucky. We have a lot of mune. We have lots of villagers that do these things. And I'm like, okay, maybe I can put the enzymes on the side. So this is mainly a detox. I don't do that. When I'm bloated, I know I should do more yoga. I should do more breathing. I drink ginger tea. I drink mint tea, fennel tea. Herbs are amazing. And I just wait until the bloating. It's because sometimes I have episodes and I know it will go away, but I know it's here because I'm doing something wrong. Sometimes I try not to eat as well late at night. So 3 hours before bed. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't because if I come back home late, I try to always have my breakfast, especially as a woman. If we skip breakfast, I mean, intermittent fasting is not for everyone, but if we skip breakfast and we have a busy lifestyle and cortisol just shooting up on the roof, we'll have as well hormonal imbalances. So I have my breakfast because as well with IBS, if you keep your body hungry, what it will do is your belly will fill itself with air just because you're not eating, and then you will feel bloated. So I just
Okay.
try to be organized, have my tea, have my yoga, and natural supplementation.
Lovely. Thank you for the tips, and I hope the women also that are listening
Mm,
or watching this episode will get inspired by your routine and how you're doing it. Last question about physical health.
yeah.
I know you have some like a special way to look at body weight and body
Mm,
weight in terms of how to manage it, how to perceive it, be good in your own skin. What is your philosophy in that?
yes. So a few years before I had extra weight, like I never weighed myself, so I don't know much, but I know like probably maybe 5 or 3. It's not like not obesity, but I didn't feel good back then, and I know that weight became something that defines you. And then I started trying to understand, okay, probably the weight is not because of my lack of will. Doesn't mean that I don't eat healthy because I know I was eating healthy. And this is where I started understanding that it, probably extra weight is extra stress you're carrying, extra emotional baggage. I was going through a scary time starting the business out of home, not feeling at my best, not leaving home, and then COVID came in, and then personal challenges came in, and then I had to move out of home. So everything was so stressful. I didn't have time for myself. I was never wearing the beautiful clothes because I felt like, okay, I'm at home. I never felt like I'm at a time where I want to meet someone, a new guy. It was a time where I was just focused. And I think that was the extra weight I was carrying. And this is where I started understanding that when we look at someone that has extra weight, doesn't mean that it makes them less healthy in terms of what they eat, but some things might be going on in their mind and heart. So health is holistic. And this is where I tried to start understanding that to try to tap into other areas of health and to see how I can make peace with my body. I'm not the best at it. Some people are much better than I. I know that every woman will always have changes in her body, postpartum, pre menopause, post menopause, and it's always a challenge. As much as we say no, we're super confident. There is this little thing that you might want to avoid looking in the mirror. I'm really someone working on that, and I really love those who talk about it because I don't like believe in being so strict and just not eating and working out so much just to look amazing. I just feel like, okay, it's nice to look pretty, but like not to take away from myself like extra time I want to do to socialize, not to stay at the gym. I want to have this beautiful memory when I go and travel and taste these things. So I mean, I'm still working on it, but I also feel that health is a feeling, not just a size. And sometimes an extra size is just a hormonal imbalance, it's other problems, not lack of will, not laziness, not someone who is just an emotional eater. We tend to judge. There are a lot of things going on inside people's mind and heart.
I love the fact that you said that you can be the healthiest person ever and eating
Mm,
very well, and you're gonna still have some overweight
that's it.
on. So, yeah, that's not defined by only food.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
talking about these aspects, how has your journey with food and health influenced your spiritual or personal beliefs?
Okay. So can you repeat the question? How did my real,
Your journey with food and
okay,
health influenced your spiritual or personal beliefs. And do
okay,
you incorporate any spiritual practices into your daily routine that help you
okay,
align your
okay,
work with your values?
okay, okay. Um, so spiritually, or let's say spirituality is a big pillar of health, because sometimes there are a lot of things you cannot control. And if you just keep wanna control and control, you will feel tired. You will feel like you're always in a fight or flight response. You're doing this, you're trying to run out of this danger, and that puts the body into stress. And in yoga schools and Buddhism and all religions, and when you connect to let go and surrender, you just allow things to be how they're meant to be, and your body just feel more safe because there is another creator taking care of you. So in spirituality, definitely it plays a big role. And like in health and anything, I had my ups and downs because faith is beautiful, but faith is not is being tested. It doesn't remain strong. So I feel like sometimes, definitely, I have felt that recently when Kiss Spoon was growing, I was so busy, and my overthinking predisposition, let's say, became or grew on me. So I was overthinking. So I couldn't be spiritual. I couldn't just disconnect and let go because I feel like when you're anxious, your mind is saying this is urgent, so you can't stop. And so that's why recently I felt like I became more afraid of anything. I'm more anxious about any extra spending we do because what if we don't have money anymore? What if this happens? So I became much scared. And I know that it's because I am having less connection with God. I'm a believer, and spirituality used to fuel me. And now I know because I'm just overthinking, I'm not able to just be. So what I'm trying to do is, because I know I used to be better when I had spirituality more consistent. I need to go back, but I know it's a journey and I'm trying. I think awareness is important, so I know what I'm lacking, and I think this is where someone like a guardian angel comes in. Like my husband just reminds me, Tanya, just disconnect, just surrender. He's better at surrendering, and I'm not, because I'm like, I need to control things. So yes, spirituality helps a lot. And my personal belief, as someone who practices, I know it definitely helps. I'm just lacking now the patience and that ability. And I know it's normal. I'm a human being. Mhm.
Exactly. I love that. Thank you for sharing it.
And I love
And
the
yeah,
question. Mm. You
I
made
can
me
relate
think.
to what you're saying basically, because I also am a somehow control freak and I don't
Mm.
surrender in easily. How do you ensure that your business, Tanya, your business
Mhm.
practices reflect your personal values of vitality, positivity, and optimism? How did you create these aspects
Okay.
inside
One,
your
there
business
is a
practices?
yes. One, there is a human element that is so important. If there is this story, if there is me doing it, then I should keep my image there. I have to always talk with the community, share about my experiences, share about our business updates. This helps them know that this is not just a brand, this is also a human being. This brand became a friend that makes them feel good. This brand becomes a friend they know about, a friend that is transparent. They know our kitchen, they know our team members. So the human element is there. Even when Wissam joined, we do videos, we talk about the business. We're now preparing more videos for Wissam as well to appear, for the team to appear. I think this what made Kisses successful from the start when I started it as a blog. And so we have to keep that component alive, because people feel like when they come in at the branch, they know Hamza, who is the operations officer. They know Wissam, they know me, Tani, they know the team. It's a community. They belong, they come to us. So this is one thing that is so important. Two, to bring this, one of my values is transparent. I'm someone so transparent, like I can ride a taxi and just tell him everything about my life. I'm someone who just needs to, I just share a lot. Sometimes it's not as good. So what I do is the same with this phone. I do share my struggles with health, with spirituality, with everything. Because when you tell someone I am healthy and I have kissed a spoon, but I'm just like you, they know that it's known what's going on. They know that they can as well relate to me, and they will have some things they can do to get better, just like I did. And sometimes it will not work out. So relatability as well is so important. I know it goes back to point one, which is transparency, but they're all super related. And in the recipes, for example, we tell the ingredients, everything. We show the kitchen, so we don't have any ingredient to hide. So transparency, honesty is part of our values. Kindness is so important. Every team member is so kind, because we really, when we recruit, if we don't like them, sometimes like person, we don't like them, we just don't hire, because there's something we don't like them. Probably they're good people, but there is this energy, and we believe in energy in food. And that's why sometimes people tell us we don't feel bloated, we felt like amazing. And I just believe, because it's like everyone is doing their job here happy, we're doing the best, we take care of our team, and that's why the energy that comes in. So when you come to our kitchen, you'll see the team members are very friendly, they're kind. We're always there with Sam and I, so the team knows the co-owners are here, and they just look at how we deal with clients, they deal the same. So kindness as well is part of our values, me and Wissam, how we live and how our team members are.
Lovely. And talking about the business and how you guys are integrated in the story and the storyline behind it, and all these transparencies and the values
Mm.
that you operate under. But do you feel that Kiss the Spoon won't be available without Tanya's presence? Is it
Yeah.
directly correlated? Can you grow the business to a franchise or something even bigger later on? Or is it really a struggle?
For now, it is a struggle, because I had the same issue going to Dubai. Okay, if we go to Dubai, are we opening another page? If we open another page, am I gonna be splitting myself into two pages? So we had this debate. Probably I didn't have the answer, but what I know for sure is that the answer of me not being the face of the brand and not being part of it is is not easy. So I think mostly we have to find a way where we keep it human. And I know other brands did it, but probably they were not kitchens. They're more industrialized. They sell snacks, and you go to the page. It's one page, and they tell where they are present. So definitely we have to find a way. And we need to be smart about it, but not letting go of the human element. And my image is a big criteria. I have to find a way to keep it. Not because it's me and my
Okay.
image. I don't have to.
No,
It's
no,
not
yeah, I
egoistic. It
got you.
just have to be related to the story and talking to the community.
Exactly. Which leads me basically to the next question, because with your background in advertising and marketing, you have approached the branding and marketing for Kiss with the Spoon in a very specific way that has to come from your personal brand as well. How did you really shift or enhance or uplift these
Hmm.
brand marketing mechanics? And how do you foresee the future in that?
Okay. One thing, so I applied, is that when you sell something, you sell a feeling. So
Okay.
does that answer? This is part of your question, right? Like the marketing
It
tactics I
is.
apply at this point. Okay, okay. So we sell a feeling. When you buy a bed, you buy comfort. When a woman buys lipstick, she buys confidence. So we wanna make them feel good, and we call it feel good, not healthy, because some people will be like, "Oh, Jamaat healthy, no. Oh, you're too sophisticated, you're too fancy." But everyone wants to feel good, right? So this is a universal, global feeling we sell, feeling good. I know any business can just say feel good, but we've been hammering for a long time, and we've been owning it in 2019 when people in Lebanon wanted to feel good more than ever. So this is when we actually started to grow. So one, this is what we do. We focus on the feeling. We focus on the health benefit of and the life benefit. It's not like, okay, you're gonna eat this because today you're gonna feel better. You're not gonna be bloated. You're gonna go to the toilet the next day. No, it's about you growing better, aging better, having less risk of diseases. We talk about this big life benefit as well. So we ladder it up. It's a benefit, then it's a life benefit. Because when you ask someone, why do you want to eat healthy? Because I want to feel good. Okay. Why do you want to feel good? Because I want to enjoy with my friends. Why do you want to enjoy with your friends? Because I want to socialize. And when you socialize, I become more successful. People love me. Us, you want to be loved. It's laddering up. I don't do them like by the book, but I think unconsciously when we speak, we talk about these big benefits. And I do definitely think there is a lot of things I can still do for the page, because I have background in marketing. I know where the things I can do better. Sometimes when you are operating the business and being the marketeer, definitely lack of time is a big obstacle, but we're working on that to bring all of this philosophy in content, because now we did like 1 hour talk and I summarized it, but how can I say that while someone is scrolling? So I have to do bite-sized content to bring all of that. And this is, by the way, we started doing the branding marketing meeting with agencies to work on that, because I feel it's a movement. Because this one is a movement, and it's not easy to just say it, because I'm not just here to sell. I'm here to spread the movement. So it's much harder. And what I do is content pillars. So any brand has to have content pillars. So one of my content is
Nice.
the food. Second content is things about me, entrepreneurship, or how I feel today, or things going on in the country, how you feel about them, or your health. So I always share from time to time personal. Third content might be motivating quote. Fourth content is any collaboration, ambassadorship. And now the team will be working on recipes. Uh, so we like I just put them content. And the fifth content is videos, which are things I'm doing as well, empowering videos. Mm.
Wow. You summed up the
Mm.
whole marketing aspect and
Uh,
pillar that I wanted to get in. It's really
mm.
amazing. And thank you for sharing the content pillars as well. it's obvious that you guys are taking it the right way and trying to reconfigure the business and shifting it from only a personal brand into a real tangible business. And this is how you guys are growing by the minute, and I believe you guys are on the right track as well. Any specific campaign strategy that was recently launched that you can give us an overview about that helped you really grow?
Campaign strategy in related to Kiss the Spoon, you mean?
Yeah.
Um,
I know it's mostly organic, right? What you guys do.
yeah, we rely a lot on organic. But I can tell you it's not a campaign, it's a new product, meal plan. Probably, if you want, I can tell you
Okay.
why we did meal plan, although I had the resistance to launch it. For me, whenever someone asks me, do you have meal plans? I'm like, no, you can order anytime. You don't have to subscribe. Are you craving breakfast now? Just order it. And for me, it felt meal plan is like prison because you're subscribed, you're gonna eat what you receive. What happened to you being intuitive, connecting with what you want, all of that. So it felt like if I do meal plans, the people will label us as a diet center for weight loss. And then the business was going through challenges. And this is when you feel like, okay, you need to hear what people want and you need to be loyal to your philosophy. So how do we do both? This is when we did with Agritech, we joined their accelerator program. So it was a 6 month
Nice.
program. And this is when they helped us know that maybe you should do meal plans because we had another pitch and then they started asking questions. And I was like, you know what? I have another idea. And then, okay, we have meal plans. So we started with a meal plan and we realized some people not ordering from us because they're subscribed to meal plan. Some people are afraid to be intuitive. And I felt like, okay, there is this fear. I'm not gonna stop being on the spot delivery, but let me help people. And what we did is the communication was important. How do I frame my words? Am I going to tell people, do you want to lose your belly fat? Did you eat a lot on the holidays? Come join our meal plan? No. So what we did, we asked them, why do you want? A lot of our community are like us, like-minded. They want to just have access to feel good food because when they're busy, they don't have time to cook, to order, to plan. So they just eat what might bloat them. They have sensitive gut. They tend to become emotional eater. All of them are busy. Many of them work at NGOs, consultants. So they wanted to organize. So that was the key. We're saving you time, organizing your meals so that feel good stay consistent, and while you save money, because when you subscribe, you'll have definitely a discount. And from a business perspective, in Lebanon, we needed stability. When someone subscribes, we know that if infijar happens, an explosion happens, or anything, people are subscribed. They're just gonna continue eating. Yesterday, 2 days ago, Lebanon wasn't the same. People were just relaxed and not relaxed, I mean laid back and just trying to see what's gonna go on in the American embassy, on the south, and everything. But those who were subscribed just kept, I mean, receiving their meals. And now what we're doing is we're telling them you can even subscribe to a month. Because at the start we didn't offer the 1 month because I didn't want to make it feel like it's a binding
It's a
contract.
big
Just
commitment. Yeah.
it's flexible. So we remain flexible, 3 days subscription, 5 days, or 1 month. So this is helping us and helping our community. This is how we met halfway.
So this new subscription service is a new channel for you guys that you are introducing, and it's really
Yes.
amazing. I do feel that it's very beneficial. But at the same time, like you gave the example from 2 days ago,
Mm,
the regular sales of the random orders were dropping, and you saw
mm.
that this is stable because it's a subscription.
Yes,
Did you really notice the difference and the approach in these unstable times?
yes, yes. You quickly feel it in Lebanon. It, it's like a sponge. The country is so sensitive. Um, and what we feel with meal plans, this is how we some call it. It's resilience. Like whatever happens, people are resilient because they've subscribed to meal plans and they feel happy. They feel like, okay, I have my food. I didn't have to worry. I'm watching the news. We're checking what's going on, but their food is here. They're not. I mean, they're distracted, but their food is coming. So meal plans is really important. And in Lebanon, first we thought, why in Lebanon? Okay, Dubai people need it. They're always busy. They don't have their mothers around them. Their grandmothers cook for them. But
Yalla,
still,
come to Dubai.
yeah, inshallah, when it's in the right framework, context, everything. Yes.
Yeah. Talking about the instability and Lebanon and exceptional
Mm,
cases, I mean, I'm really interested. How did you guys navigate 2019, 2020 when everything went
yes.
ballistic and
Mm,
hyperinflation, Beirut blast, all of that,
yes.
disastrous times?
Yes. With full
What was
full
the situation
honesty,
at this point? Yeah.
yeah. With full honesty, I was lucky. Other businesses were not lucky. Not because I was good. What happened is I was still operating from home. So in 2019, 2020, this is when Kiss the Spoon started. I started middle of 2019, 3 to 4 months before Saura. So when the sales dropped and everything, I didn't have expenses. I was still relying on whatever was coming. I had the flexibility to just okay change the menu, adapt, do more B2B. I was just lucky. And then in 2021, this is when I moved out of home. So I can say probably if I was not, I had a work in place in 2019, I was just starting, I might have suffered.
So this did not disencourage you to start right after. You started
And
afresh and new after
yeah,
this disastrous phase, right?
yes, yes. So what helped me here is because I felt like, okay, people were happy. People were like asking for sweets and sweets. People were stressed and they just wanted more sweets. So there was something that this product was doing good. And this is where as well I was doing the right marketing content. I had more energy to do content and videos. So people were liking the brand more and more. The reputation was growing and I was still safe. I was working from home. 2020 we introduced, or beginning of 2021 I started my own direct order. I didn't have just to rely on third party to deliver. So this is when the sales were better because no one was taking revenues or commission from us. We had 100% of the revenues. So in
Mhm.
2021 I started pushing. We have our own direct order, we have our own drivers, and this is why I was able to move out of home. If I was relying just on the third party, my revenues were compromised. So it took me time, 2 years and a half, to build my community, direct community. So when I moved, they were here. So I was just lucky that my preparation phase happened to be from home.
Exactly. It's safe to say that you were right on time, and the business's timing was perfect
Mm,
in its preparation phase and the launch phase as
yeah,
well.
because it was
That's
this
nice.
force, like if I didn't try it at that time, I would have regret. And that's why it was so strong because now is the timing that was so crucial.
And I believe you went with the flow. You really
Yes.
like surrendered to the situation. You took your time preparing, testing, trying, starting small. Then you took the bigger leap and you moved out of home. You
Mm,
took the place, the kitchen, and you started delivering.
yeah.
It's really spot on the business journey. So, Tanya, as we conclude, what is one piece of advice or insight you'd like to share with our listeners about building a healthy relationship with food and managing successful business?
Mm. So I would start saying that anyone who have any idea, just start with it. Just start, even if you don't launch the business now, because when you start, and probably you start with a small community, this little success will inspire a bigger success. But you will never start with a big success. You need to have this small success to give you the push for another step. And then you feel like, oh, I'm doing that, and then another step. So the key is to start. This is what I have done. You will not have all the answers ready, and you will never have them all, because once it grows, it just gets harder and more challenging. But don't worry, you will always be able to handle it. You will always need to find the time to connect and find the connection to that task you love, because remember, you'll have tasks that you don't love. And as long as you're doing a service to the people and committed to that, you'll keep going. And in our case, it was health, which was so important for people. And in Lebanon, which I know is so hard, but I still feel like it was my choice to do it here. I'm learning with a community that might be more forgiving than any other community, a community that relates to me, where I'm born. I'm part of this community. I'm born here. So I don't want to grow quickly. I want to grow steadily and I want to be able to do it well. So right now we're super involved in the business, and that is why people are trusting God. So we're giving it as well more time before we take it much further. And we're learning so much here in Lebanon, as much as it's hard, but it's really testing this passion so much. So we're just getting stronger, hopefully, day by day.
Hopefully, yeah, of course. And what would you tell them to take care of their own health
Health.
while doing this solopreneurship or entrepreneurship journey?
Yes, so never, or let's say, always have your non-negotiables. Whatever is going on, you're gonna have 3 days, let's say, working out, 1 day walking in the sun. These are things, don't make them complicated, keep them simple, keep them consistent. And remember, health is really so easy. Probably what you might be lacking is just de-stressing activities, and then you'll feel like your body is fixing itself. And remember that the soil of everything is good food that will bring a better soil, a better gut, and then better you. Mm.
Amazing.
Mm.
Lovely. Thank you for the advice. Thank you for being present and recording this podcast episode with us. Thanks so much, Tanya, for being here. And
Thank
best
you,
of
Carl.
luck in your next phase in business.
Yes, I enjoyed it, and it was a lovely discussion. And I was reflecting on a lot of things. You made me think of things so it was beautiful to answer them all. And I hope it was as well beneficial to your audience. And thank you for having me again.
Thanks so much, Tanya. Good luck.
Thank you.